Every day we encounter moments that test our patience and disrupt our peace of mind. Whether it's being stuck in traffic when you're already running late, dealing with a coworker's annoying habits, or your phone dying in the middle of an important call, life is full of these small yet frustrating challenges. But it's not just about these minor irritations. It's about how we choose to respond to them that truly shapes our days and ultimately our lives. Today, we're going to dive into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that doesn't just help us cope with these moments, but empowers us to thrive through them. Stoicism offers us practical tools to turn everyday frustrations into opportunities for personal growth and inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why these principles have guided some of the world's greatest minds for centuries, but you'll also walk away with actionable strategies that you can start using today to build a more resilient and fulfilling life. So, let's embark on this journey together and discover how the calm, rational approach of Stoicism can help us manage our reactions, cultivate serenity, and lead to profound personal transformation. If you find value in what we're exploring today, please do me a simple favor. Hit that subscribe button so we can continue learning and growing together. And make sure you watch the video till the end to fully grasp the transformative insights we're about to uncover. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Recognizing anger as natural. Anger is a universal emotion, a natural part of the human experience. Everyone feels it, and that's perfectly okay. But this is where Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, offers us a new perspective. Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control every event or every person we encounter, we can control how we respond to these challenges. This shift in focus, from external events to internal reactions, can transform our relationship with anger. Imagine a situation where something goes wrong or someone irritates you. Your instinctive response might be to lash out in anger. But what if, instead of reacting immediately, you paused and reflected? Stoicism encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to cultivate virtues like patience, understanding, and resilience. By acknowledging anger as a natural emotion, we create a foundation for managing it more effectively. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius often discuss the importance of not being swayed by external events, but instead focusing on our internal responses. They taught that our emotions, including anger, stem not from the events themselves, but from our judgments about those events. This insight gives us a powerful tool. Whenever we feel anger rising, we can ask ourselves, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is there another way to interpret it? This approach isn't about suppressing or denying your anger, it's about understanding it. By digging deeper into what triggers our anger, we can start to alter our responses. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic and you feel anger bubbling up, recognize this as an opportunity to examine why you're reacting this way. Is it truly the other driver's action, or is it your belief that your journey should be free of interruptions? Moreover, recognizing our anger helps us empathize with others who may also struggle with their emotions. This empathy can strengthen our relationships and improve our interactions. It's about showing compassion, not just to others but also to ourselves as we navigate the complex landscape of human emotions. Lesson 2. Focus on what you can control. Understanding what we can control is a central theme of Stoic philosophy, and mastering it can be incredibly empowering. Think about it. Much of our frustration and anger often arises from situations or people that are beyond our control, no matter how much we wish otherwise. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely taught, the key is to discern the difference between what is within our control and what isn't. You have control over your thoughts, decisions, and actions, nothing more. Other things, like the actions of others, the weather, the past, or even much of the future, are beyond your grasp. But here's where it gets powerful. By focusing on how you respond to these uncontrollable factors, you regain a significant amount of power. Instead of draining your energy on what you can't change, you invest it in what you can influence. Let's break it down with a practical example. Imagine you're working on a group project, and one of your teammates isn't contributing as much as they should. It's natural to feel frustrated, maybe even angry. But before your temper gets the best of you, ask yourself, what can I actually control in this situation? You can't force your teammate to work harder, but you can control how you respond. Maybe it's having a conversation about expectations or redistributing tasks within the group. By shifting your focus in this way, you not only reduce your own stress, but also find more constructive solutions to the problem. Another crucial aspect of this Stoic principle is accepting that some things are simply beyond our control. But acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing where your true power lies. It's about not letting external events disrupt your peace of mind. For example, if you're stuck in traffic and find yourself getting frustrated because you're going to be late, pause and reflect. Can I control the traffic? Of course not. But what can you control? Your reaction. Maybe you can listen to an audiobook, play some calming music, or use the time to plan your day. The beauty of focusing on what you can control is that it gradually builds a stronger, more resilient mindset. Over time, you'll notice yourself becoming less affected by life's ups and downs because you understand where your responsibilities end and where they don't. This approach isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about channeling your energy into more productive outcomes. Lesson 3. Embracing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, aware of where we are and what we're doing, without becoming overly reactive or overwhelmed by our surroundings. This concept aligns beautifully with Stoic teachings, which emphasize awareness of our thoughts and actions, as well as the importance of maintaining control over our reactions to external circumstances. But why should we practice mindfulness? The answer lies in its ability to create a pause between our experiences and our reactions. By cultivating mindfulness, we gain the ability to choose responses that reflect our values and long-term goals, rather than getting swept away by immediate emotions. This skill is particularly valuable when dealing with difficult emotions like anger or frustration. For instance, imagine someone says something that upsets you. Your first instinct might be to react immediately, perhaps with anger or a sharp retort. However, mindfulness gives you the opportunity to take a step back. You acknowledge the surge of emotion within you, but instead of acting on it impulsively, you observe it with a sense of detachment. This space that mindfulness creates is not only calming but also empowering. It allows you to choose a response that aligns with your principles and is unlikely to lead to regret later on. Now, let's explore how to integrate mindfulness into your daily life. It's easy to talk about mindfulness, but the real transformation happens through consistent practice. One simple and effective technique is to focus on your breathing. Whenever you feel anxious, stressed, or angry, pause and take a few deep, slow breaths. This act of focusing on your breath redirects your attention away from whatever is triggering your negative emotions and grounds you in the present moment, something you can control. Another practical method is mindful observation. Take an ordinary task, such as drinking a cup of coffee, and immerse yourself fully in the experience. Pay close attention to the aroma, the warmth of the cup in your hands, the taste as you sip. By engaging all your senses, you transform a mundane moment into something richer and more meaningful. This practice not only enhances your appreciation of simple pleasures, but also trains your mind to apply the same level of awareness to more challenging situations. When anger or frustration arises, you'll find that you're better equipped to handle it with calm and focus. Additionally, Stoicism teaches us about the impermanence of our experiences. No emotion, whether joy or anger, lasts forever. Mindfulness complements this by helping us experience our emotions without judgment. When you feel angry, acknowledge it. Recognize that it's a temporary state, not a reflection of who you are, and certainly not something that needs to control your actions unless you allow it. By practicing mindfulness, you can navigate life's challenges with greater ease, maintaining a sense of balance and control no matter what comes your way. Lesson 4. Embracing impermanence. The idea that everything changes and nothing lasts forever is a universal truth that can help us navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace. This concept of impermanence reminds us that our circumstances, emotions, and even our thoughts are constantly in flux. By learning to embrace this ever-changing nature of life, rather than resisting it, we can find more peace and less frustration in our daily experiences. Consider how often we become upset when things don't go as planned. Perhaps it's a job promotion that didn't materialize, a relationship that ended unexpectedly, or an unforeseen change in our health. Our natural reaction might be to resist these changes, feeling anger, sadness, or disappointment. However, Stoic philosophy invites us to view these situations through the lens of impermanence. When we truly understand that nothing is permanent, we begin to realize that our emotions, whether it's anger or disappointment, are also temporary. This understanding doesn't diminish the significance of our feelings, but rather provides us with a more balanced perspective on them. Accepting impermanence allows us to live more fully in the present, reducing our worries about the past and future. When we acknowledge that everything is temporary, we start to appreciate our experiences and the people in our lives more deeply. We don't take things for granted because we're aware that circumstances can change at any moment. This awareness can be incredibly liberating. It lessens the pain of negative events and enhances the joy of positive ones. But how do we practice accepting impermanence in our daily lives? Start by reflecting on the transient nature of the world around you. Notice how the seasons change. Observe how your feelings shift throughout the day, or consider how your relationships evolve over time. These observations serve as gentle reminders that change is the only constant in life. Another way to integrate this understanding is by adjusting how you respond to disruptions or unexpected changes. Instead of reacting with frustration when things don't go your way, take a moment to acknowledge that this change is part of the broader flow of life. It's an opportunity for growth and adaptation. Think about a time when something didn't work out as you had hoped, only to lead to something better down the line. Often, it's only in hindsight that we recognize how beneficial these changes were. Stoicism doesn't just ask us to accept impermanence, it encourages us to find strength in it. Every change, every ending, is an opportunity to practice resilience and flexibility. By cultivating this mindset, we not only cope with life's challenges more effectively, but also learn to navigate them with a sense of peace and anticipation for what comes next. Lesson 5. Understanding your emotions. The Stoics believed that true self-mastery begins with understanding the roots of our emotions. When we gain insight into our emotional responses, we empower ourselves to handle life's challenges in a way that aligns with our deepest values and goals. Instead of merely reacting on autopilot, driven by habit or impulse, an understanding of our emotions helps us make more thoughtful, intentional choices. Every emotion we experience, whether it's anger, joy, sadness, or fear, is triggered by our perception of the world around us. For example, if you feel angry when someone interrupts you during a conversation, it's important to ask yourself why. Is it because you feel disrespected? Or does it perhaps reflect a deeper insecurity, such as a fear that your voice isn't being heard? By delving into these questions, you begin to uncover not only the reasons behind your reactions, but also the beliefs and values that influence them. This kind of self-examination is crucial because it opens the door to changing how you perceive situations and, in turn, how you feel about them. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are directly linked to our judgments. The encouraging news is that these judgments are not fixed. They can be questioned and altered. The next time you experience a strong emotion, try to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what am I believing in this moment? Is this belief accurate? Is it beneficial? This type of questioning can be incredibly powerful. It allows you to reframe your perspective and choose an emotional response that serves your well-being. For instance, if you're feeling anxious about an upcoming work presentation, it might be because you believe that only a flawless performance will earn you respect. But is this belief true? More likely, your colleagues appreciate your effort and authenticity more than your perfection. Recognizing this can help reduce your anxiety, allowing you to approach the presentation with greater calm and confidence. On a practical level, journaling can be an effective tool for understanding your emotions. By writing down what you feel and exploring the reasons behind those feelings, you can uncover patterns and triggers that you might not have noticed otherwise. This regular practice not only helps you in the moment, but also builds emotional intelligence over time, making you more resilient and adaptable. Another valuable approach is discussing your emotions with someone you trust, such as a friend, family member, or mentor. Talking about your feelings can bring fresh insights and perspectives that you might not have considered on your own. Often it's through conversation that we gain new understanding of ourselves and our relationships. Embracing the Stoic approach to emotions doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring what you feel. Instead, it's about engaging with your emotions in a thoughtful, reflective way. It's about taking control of the story you tell yourself about your inner life. By understanding your emotions, you move from merely reacting to the world around you to actively shaping your experience of it. Lesson 6. Cultivating patience. In our fast-paced world, patience can often feel like a rare virtue. Yet, Stoic philosophy offers profound insights into why patience is not just a passive act of waiting, but a transformative tool for navigating life's challenges. According to Stoicism, patience is not simply about enduring delays or frustrations. It's about how we conduct ourselves during these moments. It's a discipline of maintaining our composure, dignity, and sense of inner peace, even when circumstances are beyond our control. Consider the everyday situations that test our patience. Waiting in a slow-moving line, sitting in traffic, or waiting for a colleague's response. Our natural instinct might be to feel frustrated, irritated, or stressed. But Stoicism invites us to reframe these moments, viewing them not as nuisances, but as opportunities to practice virtue. Each delay presents a chance to strengthen our ability to remain calm, collected, and centered. How then can we practically develop this kind of patience? One effective approach is to adjust our expectations. Often, impatience arises from a gap between what we expect and what actually happens. By recognizing that delays, obstacles, and setbacks are inevitable parts of life, we can reduce the frustration that comes from unmet expectations. This doesn't mean we should lower our standards, but rather that we should align our expectations with the reality that life doesn't always go according to plan. Another powerful strategy is to transform moments of waiting into opportunities for growth and reflection. For example, if you find yourself stuck in traffic instead of stewing in frustration, you could listen to an insightful audiobook, practice deep breathing, or simply reflect on your day. By shifting your perspective, What might have been a source of irritation becomes a chance to learn, relax, or engage in self-improvement. Mindfulness is also a crucial ally in developing patience. By staying present and fully engaging with the moment, we can distance ourselves from the anxiety and restlessness that often accompany waiting. Mindfulness helps us to cultivate a peaceful state of mind, providing a buffer against the impatience that might otherwise take hold. Stoicism also teaches us to understand the impermanence of our current state. Reminding ourselves that this too shall pass can make it easier to endure difficult situations, whether it's a delayed flight or a long recovery from an illness. The knowledge that these challenges are temporary can help us bear them with greater ease. Finally, it's important to celebrate the small victories in our journey to develop patience. When you successfully remain calm in a situation that would normally provoke impatience, take a moment to acknowledge and reward yourself for this achievement. This positive reinforcement strengthens the habit, making it more likely that patience will become a natural part of your character. By integrating these Stoic principles into our daily lives, we can transform patience from a mere act of waiting into a powerful practice of personal growth, resilience, and inner peace. Lesson 7. Embracing the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a profound and transformative practice, one that can reshape not only how we relate to others, but also how we cultivate inner peace. In Stoic philosophy, forgiveness is not about excusing or forgetting the wrongs done to us. Rather, it's about liberating ourselves from the emotional burdens that come with holding on to grudges. This form of forgiveness is rooted in self-awareness and emotional mastery, traits that Stoics strive to develop throughout their lives. Forgiveness involves recognizing that while anger and hurt are natural responses to injustice, we have the power to control how these emotions influence us. This process is neither simple nor instantaneous. Forgiveness can be deeply challenging, requiring a conscious and deliberate effort to release entrenched feelings of resentment. Yet there is immense power in choosing not to let someone else's actions disrupt your inner tranquility. This is the heart of Stoic forgiveness, making the decision to stop allowing past events to control your present state of mind. By doing so, you reclaim emotional energy and redirect it towards constructive pursuits that align with your values and goals. To begin practicing forgiveness in daily life, start by acknowledging that all humans are imperfect, including ourselves. We all make mistakes, sometimes out of ignorance, sometimes out of malice. Reflecting on our own flaws can foster empathy for others, making forgiveness easier to extend. Another helpful Stoic approach is to consider the broader context of our lives. Often, the grievances we cling to are minor in the grand scheme of things. By focusing on our long-term well-being, which is strengthened by peace and harmony, the sting of immediate wrongs can be lessened. Reframing our personal narratives also plays a crucial role in practicing forgiveness. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim, an identity that can fuel ongoing anger and helplessness, try to view yourself as a survivor or even as the hero of your own story. This shift in perspective not only facilitates forgiveness, but also empowers you to take control of your life's journey. Incorporating mindfulness and meditation into your routine can further support this process. These practices calm the mind, allowing you to process emotions with greater rationality and less reactivity. As you sit quietly and focus on your breath, invite thoughts of forgiveness to surface. Picture those who have wronged you and imagine sending them thoughts of goodwill. This doesn't mean you condone their actions, but rather that you are choosing to free yourself from the emotional grip those actions have on you. Lastly, it's essential to remember that forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that unfolds over time, and it's perfectly normal for it to take longer than expected. Each step you take toward forgiveness, no matter how small, is a step toward a freer, more emotionally balanced life. Lesson 8. Cultivating self-control. Self-control is a powerful tool that allows us to pause and reflect before reacting. This moment of reflection is crucial as it gives us the chance to evaluate whether our immediate impulses align with our long-term aspirations. Imagine you're committed to leading a healthier lifestyle. Self-control is what guides you to resist that late-night craving for junk food. In emotionally charged situations, it's self-control that helps you hold back a harsh word or an angry retort, preserving relationships and maintaining your peace of mind. Strengthening self-control is a valuable pursuit, and there are several practices that can help us in this journey. One effective method, rooted in Stoic philosophy, is to regularly reflect on our actions and their consequences. This could be as simple as setting aside a few minutes each evening to review the choices you made throughout the day. Were there moments when you felt your self-control slipping? What triggered those lapses? Understanding these patterns is the first step in gaining control over them. Another powerful approach is to establish clear personal guidelines based on your values. Stoicism teaches us that living according to rational principles is essential for a fulfilling life. By setting your own rules, such as not checking your phone during meals or limiting time on social media, you actively practice self-control in ways that enhance your daily life and overall well-being. Visualization is another valuable technique. Before entering a situation where you might be tempted to act impulsively, take a moment to mentally prepare yourself. Visualize handling the situation with calmness and restraint. Picture the sense of satisfaction you'll feel from staying true to your principles. This mental rehearsal can significantly increase your ability to remain composed in challenging moments. Building self-control also involves gradually increasing your tolerance for discomfort. The Stoics believed that by deliberately exposing ourselves to discomfort, whether it's through cold showers, fasting, or resisting urges, we can strengthen our willpower. These practices teach us that discomfort is often less daunting than we imagine, and this realization directly contributes to our capacity for self-control in more complex emotional or social situations. It's important to remember that practicing self-control is an ongoing journey, not a one-time achievement. There will be moments when you falter, and that's perfectly normal. It's part of being human. What matters is recognizing these moments, learning from them, and continuing to strive for improvement. Each act of self-control, no matter how small, is a victory in itself and a step towards becoming a wiser, more balanced individual. Thank you for joining me today on this exploration of self-control at Stoic Journal. Remember, every effort you make to master your emotions brings you closer to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Continue your journey in Stoicism by exploring the suggested videos on your screen. Together, we're not just learning, we're transforming.